I did my mermaid hair for this video because I wanted to talk to y'all about Sirens, the archetype from the Art of Seduction. And I feel like it is appropriate for me to speak on this because I am a Siren, like that is my archetype. I read this book for the first time when I was like 16. That and The Art of War. I was a very curious teenager. But I want to say that The Art of Seduction is a good book to read if you know how to use it and if you're going to use it for the right reasons. And the reason I say that is because even when I was like 16 and I read it for the first time, my intention with reading it was not to, hurt people or step on people or anything like that, because I'm also a spiritualist and I've always been a spiritual person, and I just don't feel like dirtying up my karma. A good reason to read it is to have an understanding of the world, of other people, and narcissists. And to kind of be able to spot when people are playing games. And there are good aspects to that book. Like, it helped me to understand myself. And if you read the book and you don't fall into the Siren category, of course there's attributes that you can borrow or amplify of yourself, but don't try to be something that you're not, because it's not going to work out. Like me, I'm very demure, so I could never be like the star. It's just vibrant and outlandish and outrageous and loud. Maybe not always loud, but larger than life on the outside. I might be that way on the inside, but when I go to a bar or I go out like I did tonight, like, I don't go up and speak to people. They come up to me. Unless I know them, that's different. But I am better because I'm a Siren, that's my archetype. I'm better at pulling things in, right? So there's that little spiel. I did also come out with La Sirena Negra oil. I came out with it like a week or two ago on my website. That will help you amplify that energy and tap into it. Like 2 years ago, I think, I actually came out with La Sirena Negra soap that I made with Hecate, because Hecate does have a very seductive and very mermaid-like aspect. So it's the same energy, just in oil form. So I did write down some traits of Sirens, and where the term Siren comes from is ancient Greece. I have to respect my people. The myth of, I think, the Odyssey. Y'all, do not clock me, okay? I research a lot, but if I get some stuff wrong or miss something, don't knock my head off. So, the Siren in Greek, or ancient Greek, because I don't know if the language has changed, it actually means binder, and entangler. That's the etymology of the term Siren. And when the myth or the legend of the Sirens first came out, they were actually, I believe, half woman, half bird. But they did the same thing, at the beach and the ocean, of singing and luring men into their death. From their beauty, their singing, pulling them in. So that's a little history. But now, like, as times have changed and stuff, the Siren is still the energy of the mermaid. That basically entices men, or people in general, by their glamour, their voice, their beauty, their ability to pull very subtly sometimes, most of the time. And usually it is to some aspect of danger. And if not danger, then it's mystery also. I kind of do that by just existing, because the more like spiritual that I get, the more people can kind of sniff me out as far as being a witch. So, especially if I'm dating a muggle, I already have that element of danger mixed in. Because he doesn't really understand it, he doesn't understand how I do it, the mechanics of it, all of that. So that's my, like, mysteriousness, is my energy, my spirituality, my aura, all of that. So, some traits of the Siren are coy, glamorous, regal, leisure, fluid, ungraspable, wild, protective, and adventurous. And the Siren is very sensual. She is very quiet. And this is another reason that I'm a Siren, because I'm just naturally very quiet. Sirens don't talk a lot. They're never gonna be that girl at the bar or the club, just like being outlandish and purposely being the center of attention. A lot of the time, a Siren gets that by just being her. By the way she looks, the way that she moves, the way that she carries herself, without saying a word. It doesn't mean she doesn't talk ever, obviously, because who would want to be around that? But she is very intentional with her words, with her looks, with her body language. And I like the trait ungraspable. I like that, because I didn't get this list out of my own head. I found it somewhere else. I forgot where. But ungraspable, because the Siren is the energy of the mermaid. We could never contain the ocean, right? Or water, a lot of water in general. It's very, very difficult, because water is so fluid. Another trait. So she's always changing. She's always evolving. Another way that comes out in me is I can be dating a man and, we'll have date night like 3 times a week or something, or 2. And he never knows when it's going to walk out that door. Ever. I never look the same. I'm always changing. Not because I don't know who I am. It's because I do. And I know how to intertwine all aspects of myself. Right? I've said this before. Sometimes I will look like a gypsy. Sometimes I will look like sometimes I will look very classy and put together, or retro and vintage. And sometimes I just look like a typical 25-year-old. Big hoop earrings, big hair, the whole 9. I'm always changing up how I look. And men are like they don't know if I'm going to turn out blonde that day or with red hair or brown hair. And they love it. Because they can't compartmentalize me. And men, by nature, are made to compartmentalize in their brain. Women are much more multiple choice questions in their mind. Select all that apply. And men are yes or no type thing. And this is why you should always be yourself, but it's important to be aware of how you present yourself, because a man will compartmentalize you like that, or he will try. But for me, I'm very seductive, and I can be very wild, and I want to go here and there, and be very spontaneous, and sometimes look like I came straight out of hell with how I look. Black leather leggings, giant black stripper heels, black hair, black lipstick, leathered out, the whole nine. And other times, I look like a housewife, and I'm wearing my little house dress, and my floral prints, and my dainty jewelry, and because I'm also very nurturing, and motherly, and sweet, and I want children, and babies, and so that duality of all of that, it's going to be very hard for him to put me in a category of a hookup only, because I have that nurturing, motherly, feminine wife energy also. Excuse me. Oh, I need a drink, girl. And that's why they love me so much, because they're like they can't figure me out. And I think that knowing your archetype is important, because it gives you power, it gives you understanding, and you learn how to amplify and tap into certain parts of yourself. Let me see. Glamorous. What does glamour actually mean? We think of it as like lipstick and boobs and perfume and, high heels and all these things. And that is a certain type, but actually the word glamour means illusion. Glamour magic. Manipulating things. Smoke and mirrors. Being hot and cold. And I can be very hot and cold. My cowboy, he hates this, but oh well. And it's not on purpose, though. That's the difference. Like, a lot of things that I tell y'all in this video are things to incorporate if you have this archetype and you truly feel that this is who you are. But your energy will tell on you before you open your mouth. I'm hot and cold because I'm busy. I wear so many different hats. And the older that I get and more mature that I get, the better that I get at wearing them. And I am past that point in my life where I allow a relationship or a man to take my hats away from me. I have a list of things that come way before him. And I stick to that. Because I've learned the hard way what happens when I don't. So I'm a very busy person. Normally, if we make plans, it has to be around my schedule. Because I have work, I have family, I have chores, I have friends, and Nikki has a whole planner about this big that she keeps everything written down and organized in the best I can. So I'm hot and cold because I'm either busy with something or I'm sleeping. And they also don't know which one, because sometimes I go to bed at 4, sometimes I go to bed at 9. I just have a very full life. But to a man, he's still going to have that perception of hot and cold, because when I do talk to them, as long as they're being good to me, I'm going to be very sweet and bubbly and, oh my God, it's so good to see you, and, But when I'm away from them, I'm very icy. So the glamour comes in because they don't know what I'm doing. They don't know truly how I feel about them for a while. And also, the energy of the siren, because when that mermaid is serenading you, you don't know what you're getting into. And something important about the siren archetype is to keep in mind the energy of the ocean. The energy of the ocean is very unpredictable. Sometimes it's very tranquil and calm and soothing and peaceful. And other times it's a straight up hurricane or a tsunami. And I can be like that too. And I'm like a mix between Siren and Coquette, because the Coquette, one of her traits is the emotional unpredictability. Nikki's got that 100%. But where the Siren comes in is, again, your energy tells on yourself before you open your mouth. And this is something that I learned from my godmother. Like, silence is so powerful. I have my moments, right? I have told y'all 1.5 billion times. I am not afraid to cuss somebody out. Because I went through a lot when I was younger. And I've always been little. I've always been small. You guys, I literally was like 3.5 pounds when I was born. I was super premature. So I've always been little. And obviously, I was a cheerleader. I was a dancer. I was a gymnast. So I didn't have a lot of like fighting muscles. But what I did have was my mouth that would shut everything down. And I've been fighting back with it ever since. But something that I've learned is to not react when people try you. Again, sirens don't talk tons and tons. Even though I'm making this video and I'm talking to you guys because I don't want this to be an hour long, and I'm trying to just, get all this out. They're very intentional with their words. And the way that I approach it now, if a man has upset me, but I still, for whatever reason, want him in my life, I will not say a word. I will shut down. Cold. Quiet. If he tries to come to me the next day or next week, whatever, and act like nothing happened and just be like, hey, what's up? How are you? Won't say shit. And this can take a while. But I will be quiet until he realizes what he did wrong. It's not the healthiest thing to do, but it gets their attention. Because men don't respond to words. They're not like women in that way. Like women, we love words. We love positive affirmation. And men do too. But when it comes to a conflict, oh no, they respond to action. And ever since I started doing this, it's gotten me different results. And this is not to say if someone's trying you, don't verbally stand up for yourself. That is not what I'm saying. Because if you're being a coward and you're quiet, that will show. But if you're empowered and you're being quiet because right now you're not worth my words. You're not worth me even speaking to because of what the fuck you did. And until you figure it out, and unless you figure it out, you are not getting a goddamn syllable from me. And I deal with it in other ways. Now, if it's somebody that I just truly don't give a fuck about anymore, I will turn into, the hurricane, the tsunami. And if it's someone that I have been involved with for a long time, They don't know what they're gonna get. Because they've seen my rage, and they've seen me being quiet, and both of them are pretty fucking terrifying, I'm not gonna lie. Because I have a rage reservoir. This is where I put all the anger that I feel and all that energy. I put it into a little box inside of me and my mind, my spirit, whatever. And when it comes time to let it out, it gets let out. And it's emptied out. Because I got so tired of talking when I was upset. If it was someone that I knew would not hear me and would only listen if I showed them. And in my defense, that is a very unevolved man, because relationships and connections require a lot of communication, and I'm willing to do that if they actually fucking fix it. But if it's just somebody that you have to show them better than tell them, I will tap into that dark side of the siren and be fucking quiet. And it keeps them on their toes. Regal. What does regal mean? Royal. I'm pretty sure. Let me get the actual definition for y'all so that I don't sound or feel stupid. I should have done this beforehand. I'm sorry. I went out. I had a few drinks. That is what it is. But my makeup looks good, and I wanted to talk to y'all about this, so. Okay. Regal. New Oxford American Dictionary. Resembling of or fit for a monarch, especially in being magnificent or dignified. What does that mean? Princess treatment. Princess treatment starts within yourself. Why would I have someone in my life that does not treat me as well as I treat myself? You know, I'm not gonna take I take myself on dates all the time, right? I'm not gonna take myself somewhere shitty. I'm not gonna go on a date with someone to a place that I wouldn't go by myself. That I wouldn't freely go on my own. I buy myself Christmas presents. I buy myself Valentine's Day gifts. Birthday gifts. Hell yeah. The entire month of July is like Nikki birthday palooza. So I need that in return. I don't accept last minute dates. I don't accept last minute plans with guys. If it's my friends and they're like, hey girl, let's go out tonight, I'm like, bet. If I don't have anything, going on or the next morning, then yeah, because those are my friends. Or my family, whoever. But a man? No. Because you're not going to treat me like a fucking option. And this is another reason I don't do dating apps. Because they subconsciously see you as a number in a list. Because you literally started out as a pick from a pile. I don't like that energy. It's gross. So when a man waits until the last date to confirm or make plans, or he makes plans with you and never calls to confirm, the night comes when y'all were supposed to be doing something and he's MIA, that's not princess treatment. Fuck you. WWMMD. Because Meghan Markle is my favorite out of all of the royals. Even though they're not technically royal anymore because they withdrew from everything. Still, I just love her. Do you think that she accepted last-minute dates with Harry? No. The Prince of England. Is he a prince or a king? I don't know. Duke. No disrespect or shade to them. I don't live there, so I don't know. But y'all get what I'm saying. Like, or Kate Middleton. She's beautiful also. Like, there are certain ways to carry yourself, and the more that you fill up your life, the more you appreciate your time. The more present that you are in your life, the more you are going to respect your own time. And me, being a small business owner, I can kind of figure out now how much my time is worth. In a spiritual sense, it's priceless, right? Because we only have a finite amount of it. But in a business sense, I know how much I make per hour. Or per day. Per weekend, whatever, roughly. I don't want to waste that time. So, yeah, sir, you gotta kind of make some plans in advance. And the Siren's energy tells it all. I have not had a man in a long time even try any of that bullshit I just mentioned. I used to when I was younger, but for a while now, they just don't even try it. Because I am so confident in myself, and I have that energy of she is busy. And I am not going to put her on the list of options. And if I do, she's going to be at the top because she doesn't fuck around. And you can have that I don't fuck around demeanor without being ratchet. And crazy. And loud and like a pit bull with a lace front on. Like, that is not cute. Excuse me. Again, I used to be that way. Never again. Let's see, what else is on here? Leisure. So, filling your life with leisure and downtime and putting your body in rest mode is going to do a lot for your energy. Because it's showing your higher self, your inner being, the universe, everybody, like, okay, this woman prioritizes rest. She does not overwork herself. She makes an effort to rest her mind, her body, her spirit. And when you have that approach to life sometimes, when you need it, because if you don't make time to rest, your body will make time for you. That's when you get sick. That's when you feel derailed. That's when you feel fatigued and burnt out and all that crap. So would you rather it be on your terms and take care of yourself and stay ahead of it? Or would you rather let your body make that choice for you? And when you make time for that, for yourself and your rest, you're going to have that energy and be able to let loose with a man. And if he's been working all day, and he's been, out in the field working, or in the office where it's tough, or whatever, you're going to be his peace. I know it's cliche, and y'all hate hearing, oh, be a man's peace. He needs to be yours too, girl. Okay, it has to go both ways. But men love that. That's why when you're in a serious relationship with someone and you're trying to build a life together, you'll always hear men tell their woman, baby, I can't wait to come home to you every day. I had a boyfriend that used to say that to me all the time, and he meant it. Because he loved coming home from work and spending time with me. Even though we weren't living together, he would work 12 hours and look forward to that all day. Because I gave him leisure. And we would, watch funny movies and joke around and watch, YouTube videos with Cat playing a piano. And I was his, peace and his leisure. I wasn't another job to come home to. Alright. One more definition. I'm sorry, y'all. I know a lot of big fancy words, but not all of them. Coy, okay. Coy. Especially with a reference to a woman, because it's a very feminine trait. Making a pretense of shyness or modesty that is intended to be alluring. That's what I thought, but, you know, I've had a few drinks. This is where the siren comes in again. Think about a mermaid. And I know, some of y'all think mermaids aren't real. Some of y'all think they are. I think they are. But forget about that. Focus on the energy of the mermaid. What does she do? She's either sitting on a rock, just sitting there, chilling, brushing her hair very slow, looking in her little shell mirror, or she's in the ocean singing. Very softly, very slow. When I am with a man, and life is not all about men, but that's why y'all clicked on this video. Like, be fucking for real, okay? I talk very slow. Why? Because I'm intentional with my words. And some of us have very strong ache in our mouth, in our tongue. Some of us have it everywhere. But still. So I'm very intentional about my responses, about my questions. I listen more than I talk. And I also don't word vomit my entire life, my entire life story, my past trauma, my spirituality. Like, there are certain things that I keep under lock and key. I might tell him a little bit, things that you can't really hide or lie about. Like, if it comes up for some weird reason, like, guys will ask about your family and your parents on the first date, right? I'll tell them that my dad died. I'm not gonna lie about it. If he comes to pick me up and he's like, "Oh, can I meet your dad?" I'm gonna be like, no. Sorry. By the way, like, that's just awkward and weird, But that's like my basic past. I don't tell hardly anybody about my trauma, my past, what I've been through, the really deep, dark, nitty-gritty stuff. I hold that for when I really have that trust with that person. I also don't lead with my accomplishments. And some of y'all are not going to like this. But unless he is a dusty gold digger of a man, he does not care how much money that you make. He doesn't. Especially if he's in a good place financially, he doesn't care. That's not why he's dating you. Ideally. Aren't there some men that just date women to go 50-50 and that whole lifestyle? Yes. And if that's what you're into, by all means, do what works for you. But it is good for men to provide. You can have your own business and your own money too. But it makes them feel good to take care of you and provide for you. That's part of their innate desire. Protect, provide, possess. Those are like the 3 things that men innately need to be happy if they're in their divine masculine. So don't give this man a verbal copy of your resume. He doesn't care. And if he does, he's probably in it for the wrong reasons. Because the type of men that I date, they never ask me for money. I don't pay for anything. I might, if I'm first like seeing him, obviously I'm gonna pay for my hair, my nails, my makeup, my outfit, all of that, right? Which is very expensive, by the way. But other than that, like, if we go on a trip somewhere, he pays for it. If we go out, he pays for it. If I'm like, hey, I want to go to the nail salon today, I think I'm gonna go there after I take a shower and get ready. Sometimes they're like, okay, I'll slide you $100 for your nails. I want to go get a coffee. Okay, here. I've had guys, oh my god. I remember, this was like a year ago, and I was just so busy with life that I forgot to go grocery shopping. And I remember getting ready for my date, and I still talk to this guy, like, we're friends. He's really sweet. But I remember I was getting ready and I was like hungry, right? And I was like, oh my god, like, I didn't realize how low my groceries got. And I was like, what the fuck? And, like, I needed to go grocery shopping instead of going on that date, honestly. And he was like, no, let's go out to dinner, have a good time, have some drinks, and then I will take you grocery shopping. And I'll help you unload it. And on our first date, that man bought me almost $200 worth of groceries. One of the sweetest, most thoughtful things that anyone has ever done for me. It's like, there are really good men in this world. And a way that you can be coy is keeping things to yourself. And allowing him to take initiative. Because I could have approached the situation like, oh, well, I'm an independent woman, I've done this and this and this, and I don't need you, I'll just reschedule. That wouldn't make him feel good. So I'm making him feel good by doing something for me. Right? Another thing with the coyness, is that a word? I don't know. Is how you dress. You guys, again, I'm mentioning my godmother again because she has really helped me become a better woman. I have become so much more sophisticated and just more mature when she came into my life, because she is truly a beautiful, strong, nurturing, but no nonsense woman. And I Spirit was on the same page as her. And she never, God bless her, she never said anything to me about it, but just having her in my life and having that sophistication made me change how I dress. I don't dress like her, I dress like me. But having an example of a good, classy woman in your life really changes you. And the reason that I say Spirit was on the same page is because, y'all know, I have so many clothes. So many clothes. Christmas Eve, this past Christmas Eve, we got a cold front in Georgia. Not a mild one, 2 degrees, 0 degrees, like Arctic weather. My pipes burst. And I had a big basket of clothes in my bathroom. And do y'all want to know, throughout my entire house, where my pipes burst? The one place in the entire house. Any of them could have busted. Right, literally, right above my clothes basket. That was filled with mostly what I call my whole clothes. Leather leggings, crop tops, corsets, bustiers, mini skirts, the whole 9. Spirit was sick of my shit. My clothes got ruined. And I was like, okay. I get it. Do I still have some of that stuff? Yes. But I dress differently now. I might wear a mini skirt and some like thigh-high boots, which are very sexy. Right? Even though it's just like literally that much of your legs showing, it's a pretty sexy look. And in my opinion, if you do it the right way, it is a little bit more classy than wearing a mini skirt and high heels, because you are covered. So I'll wear thigh highs, a mini skirt, and either, if it's warmer outside, I'll wear a tank top with like a, what are they called? Not a kimono, like an Afghan, like a light cardigan. And then if it's more cold, I'll wear a long sleeve top. So long sleeve, mini skirt, thigh highs. So really, technically, a tiny bit of my skin is showing. And I have gotten better results. And yes, men should respect you whether you are wearing a whipped cream bikini or a turtleneck and a burqa. Absolutely, and you should demand respect whatever you wear. But the reason I started dressing a little bit more modestly, because I don't dress like a prude, you know, and if that's your style, that's fine. It's not me. I got too much body. I'm trying to get the pretty privilege as long as I can. But I don't show everything. Because I tap into that siren energy of mystery. And another thing that, what's his name, Robert Greene said in the book, is like some examples of sirens are Cleopatra and Marilyn Monroe. And Marilyn Monroe, fun fact, her waist to hip ratio was a 0.7. So is Kate Moss. So is Scarlett Johansson. I forget who else. But 0.7 is actually the ideal waist to hip ratio in a man's mind. This has nothing to do with weight, okay? You can be a size 12 or 14 and still have a 0.7 ratio. I have a 0.7 ratio. I was talking to my mom about it earlier, and I was like, thank you, Mama. Thank God. So now that I know that, I play on that. And if you look at Marilyn Monroe, she might have been a little bit outlandish for her time, but now she is still a sex symbol. She always will be. And compared to people now, she's actually kind of modest. And what Robert Greene said in the book is the Siren, the way that she puts her outfit together, everything is coordinated. And it's not boring. But there's a little bit of specialty in each thing. But it all flows together. It's not too much. Y'all know, I love my big hoop earrings. Okay? Hello. But they're simple. Even though my lipstick is messed up, oh Lord. My makeup. Am I wearing a lot of makeup? Yes. But it's simple, right? No, my lipstick is about to drive me nuts. Fuck. Whatever. It's because I've been vaping and drinking. I wore my satin dress, my lucky dress, tonight. It's satin, it is blue with white polka dots, and my hoops. And I wore some, like, nude pumps and, like, a brown bag. So I was, like, glammed up, but it's not, like, raw. You know, it's not in your face. It's very intentional. It's very put together. Everything is pretty and cute, but it all kind of flows together. It's not like I'm wearing this blue and white dress and these huge blue earrings or super, super dark makeup, you know? And I love my makeup, but, excuse me, I make sure that everything is placed well. I didn't do a lot of makeup on my eyes. I did like a gold glitter right here and then some tan in my crease and a little bit of brown eyeshadow on the bottom and my lashes because I have to have my lashes. But it's very subtle. That is what the Siren is. She's not subtle in a I don't want to be seen type way. She is subtle in a way that is classy, that draws attention, but doesn't scream for it. Because with my body, girl, I can wear a spandex dress, and my stripper heels, and a red lip, and my hair up to here, and shut the whole club down. I've done it before in my past. Like, what did somebody say to me one time about my butt? Oh, he said that I had a butt that would, like, smack you in the face. Right? I have it. God is good. But there's ways that you can show off your body without being, like, you know, because my energy speaks for itself. Are there any other things I want to go over? I think y'all get the general, like, gist. Another thing that will help, and this will also help with your first 3 chakras, but mostly your sacral and a little bit of your solar plexus. If you're a woman and you identify as having feminine energy predominantly, walk with your hips. Don't walk with your arms, don't walk with your shoulders, walk with your hips. You'll feel better, you'll look better, you'll have like this air of regality about you, and you will literally flow. And that is like the entire energy of the Siren, is to flow, right? I wore my hair like wavy. That's if you're a Siren archetype too, like wearing wavy hair is just like a cheat code. It's a shortcut to tap into that energy. Take baths, take your spiritual baths. Just tap into it, study it. Get the book if you want to, but don't get so caught up in trying to be something that you're not. You know, find which one that you are. And if you're like me and you're like 75% one and 25% the other, that's fine. Work with it. And you will get what you want, I promise. From a spiritual standpoint, yeah, it's pretty good information. Sensuality. Wear perfume on a regular basis. It does not have to be designer. Get some of my Tuberosa mist. You know, cover yourself in it. If you're gonna buy a body spray or a perfume, you may as well get one that has magic in it. Just saying. And this literally handmade with magic. Buy nice lotion. Buy nice soap. Buy nice socks. Nice pajamas. Sleep on satin sheets. Wear softer clothing. The reason that I don't like a lot of trendy pieces is because a lot of them are not made well. Like, even though I have a bunch of whole clothes, also a lot of the stuff that I have is pretty timeless. And the timeless stuff that I have is pretty comfortable. It's like soft fabric, satin, chiffon, nice sweaters, you know, things that I can have for a while that don't really go out of style. And I used to be that girl like most of us were when I was like 19 or 20, always wearing a bunch of trendy stuff, and I felt so uncomfortable. Because I was only wearing it because it was trendy. I wasn't wearing it because it made me feel good. And that is not sexy. Like, there is nothing sexy about being uncomfortable in your clothes. Okay? My blue and white dress that I wore tonight, I've had that for like 4 years. And it is my favorite dress, and it was only like $40 on Fashion Nova. Like, you can get some nice made stuff on Fashion Nova if you know how to shop right. But some of it, girl, like, I love all the leather stuff, obviously, but I will only wear it and keep it if I'm comfortable in it. My leather leggings are like, they feel like second skin to me because they fit me well. I have not a single thing in my closet that I wear on a regular basis that does not fit me well. Like, if you're a siren, you want to mesh with your clothing and glide, not just like feel like you're trapped in a box. So I'm gonna get off of here. I know this was a long video. I'm sorry. I love you guys. I will talk to you soon. Again, if you want the Siren and Nectar oil, it is on the website. And I think I did put the rollerball option along with the dropper. So go check that out. It'll help you tap into your sensuality, your mermaid energy, your sexiness, your confidence, slowing down, resting, going with the flow in a healthy way, not in an irresponsible way, all that kind of stuff. If you need that in your life, go get it. Okay? I love you. Bye.